Hi everybody, this is Nemodius. I am the leader of the Kingdom Ashes of Creation, and today I wanted to take you guys into a dive into the latest information that's going to, well, not the latest information, the latest game content and changes that are going to drop tonight. Tonight at the Daily Reset, we're going to get update 1.5.5, and I've been kind of hesitant on making a video about the changes that are involved in this because they've just been kind of all over the place with it, and there's so much, and it's just, some of it is really depressing, like the Bazaar changes. I'm not going to lie, the Bazaar changes from a player perspective are really sucky. But, you know, and some of the PvP changes that are coming, I'm not really sure how that's going to shake out yet. And there's a couple other things that we were talking about today that I'm really not too thrilled about. So I've been kind of hesitant on making a video on this because I didn't want to just be Debbie Downer the whole time. But let's go ahead and look at it anyway, so that you can at least get a good idea of what's coming. So I'm going to go ahead and take you to the 1.5 patch notes thread that's on the Puzzle Quest forums, and we can look at what Jetto posted, one of the Puzzle Quest 3 developers. She's got in here that the update 1.5.5 patch notes includes things that have a release window. At the start of this post, they said Tuesday 24th of January through the Tuesday 31st of January for the release window, but they had actually posted this morning that they've narrowed down the time frame, and it's going to be tonight at reset. So as you watch this video in the afternoon tonight when reset happens is when this information is supposed to drop. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Some of the content includes story flow updates. In order to improve the flow of the main story, we've made some further changes to the campaign. This is one of the sections that's kind of controversial. When we were talking about it today in my kingdom, we were kind of wondering how this is going to work. Chapters will now have mini dungeons in the last battle of part 3 and 6 in each chapter. Excuse me. These mini dungeons are dungeons against 2 enemies with an altar choice between them. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't really sound like that big of a deal. But the loot drops is what's concerning to us. There are no boss or mini-boss enemies in mini dungeons. These battles will now award what's called a story cache. More information below. And that's what that little icon right there, I think, is. Story cache, letting you know that at these points you're going to get a story cache. And then I think that's what that is right there as well, a story cache. Look at somebody's cute little warlock standing there. It's funny. But the story cache looks like that, I think. I don't really know what all these other things are about. I guess you have a interaction with the quest, and then you fight, and then you get your reward, and then maybe another little interaction there. Don't really know what that's about, so yeah, we'll see going forward. The story chests, we have removed chests dropping from the main story battles. Instead of receiving a chest, extra rewards will be received as part of the in-battle rewards. Okay, so this is the part that we are kind of concerned about. Because as a player of Puzzle Quest 3, well, let me rephrase that. As a new to a newish to a junior level player of Puzzle Quest 3, one of the best sources of gems for you was to go back through and do the main story playthroughs with each different character class, because the gem rewards throughout the story were very good, and by the time you maxed out, I think it's 8 classes or whatever, you had quite a substantial amount of gems that you could use to then, if you were prudent, save them, then use them to level up, whatever you want to play as your main and the gear that, that class had. And then you would be able to achieve a high level of, gear and upgrades because you had plenty of gems to do it. But this concerns me right here because it seems like they're taking that away and then lumping them into these story caches or whatever. And is that an attempt to thin out the gem rewards? Is this a situation where instead of getting 20 to 30 gems every time you complete a battle during the story, are you now just going to get 2 sections of the story where you get a story cache and you get like 30 gems per cache, which then ends up cutting down your overall gem production that you could have made? That kind of a move would not surprise me. And it's troubling because this game is already built around overinflated cost of items. Personally, in my opinion, and I've stated this many times, I think everything that this game sells is twice as expensive as it ought to be. If they would take the cost of everything they offer and cut it in half, that would be where it would need to be. And I think the game would prosper a lot more because then the players would feel more comfortable with buying things because they would feel like they got a good deal. Right now, every time I push buy, and yes, I can say this legitimately because I've spent a lot of money in this game. Every time I push buy, I feel like I'm getting ripped off, but I do it anyway because I love the game. But I'm not indicative of the total player base. A lot of 80 to 90% of the players are going to say, screw that, I'm not spending that kind of cash on that, and walk away. And I think this is one of the main concerns as to why they're seeing their player base decline. And they're not willing to come to grips with that fact that their costs are overinflated. I think they think if they just hang on to it as tight as they can, they'll eventually get there, but they're not going to at these prices. It's just going to die. But anyway, I think that this is possibly a move which is designed to make gameplay feel better, but also have a side effect from their perspective of cutting down the gem rewards because they feel like they're giving way too many gems. They pretty much stated that in not those same words, but pretty much the idea was put across that, hey, we're changing the Bazaar because we really feel like we're giving you way too many rewards. We didn't anticipate that this was going to happen like it has, and boo, here's a 16th of the gem rewards that you were getting before with this new update. So yeah, we'll get into a lot of crying about that here in a minute. These rewards will vary across battles and chapters, but generally can include gold, food, ore, shards, runes, scrolls, or relics. Notice they didn't say gems in there anywhere. Do you see gems in that statement? I don't see gems in that statement. And I think that was intentional because they know they're not going to put gems in there. So how can they say gems when they're not going to be in there? I don't think they would have forgotten to list one of their two main currencies in the game if they were rewards. So that right there lets me know that there's no gems there. So this may be a situation of where there's no gems at all. I don't know. I don't want to go there because I don't want to start crying. I mean, I'm going to start crying. It really doesn't affect me though, because I already have all my characters leveled up. And a subsequent playthrough of the story just won't net me anything other than gold the way it's set up right now. But for new players, newish players, junior level players, they depend on them gems to be able to level up a gear set if they're smart, and it's just too crippling. The developers of this game try to act like they have a free-to-play model, but it's just not feasible. You can't spend 6 months trying to upgrade one piece of gear and call that free to play. That's just slave to play is what that is. Okay, so now we're going to talk more about story caches like we've been going on about. Story caches are unique chest-like rewards at the end of battle, which don't require a key to open. Okay, so that's something right there. Keys have been kind of a hot button issue with a lot of people because, new people, they can't really get keys for a while until they start going through and doing these playthroughs, start buying the offers on the store every day and accumulating keys, start learning how to use their minions and increase their cunning so that they can actually get a better chance to get a key every time they open, those kind of things. And that takes a minute to store some keys up. So requiring them to have keys to open these chests is just another hurdle to put in the way for a new player to be able to advance and grow. I think this is a good idea to not require a key to open, because that'll alleviate some of that, stress from where am I going to get my keys. They will automatically open without keys when received at the end of the battle. Okay, and then we're talking about dungeons and mini dungeons award story caches. Dungeon mode still awards chests. So I guess every battle you still will get chests in dungeon mode. Never gave gems, so yeah, it's not really, it's just stuff that you've already got at this, at the higher levels, so, but whatever. Talking about kingdom updates, this is a big section, so she's linked in the kingdom updates blog post in here as well. We may come back and look at that. That just depends on how long this video goes. I don't want it to be too huge, but there's the Bazaar changes are listed in this link right here. So if you want to go through and see the Bazaar changes, be sure and look at this post right here, because that's where they're at. The main thing that's coming in the kingdom overwork, though, and this is, probably one of the best changes that they have made in this game. This right here, Overkill mode on Kingdom Defense. That's going to be huge. We are waiting for this so bad. Because right now, like they state in this graphic, the Kingdom Defense will now continue for its full duration and not end immediately upon the boss dying. The boss's health continues to count down in battle as the kingdom deals damage to it. However, the boss will always start with at least enough health to match the damage required for gold rewards. So everyone in the kingdom will be given the opportunity to achieve gold. This is going to be such a big deal, because right now the problem we have is that some kingdoms, not all kingdoms, but I guess at the lower level kingdoms, they still encounter this problem too, because their dragons are a lot easier and they can still encounter this. So it's not necessarily just a higher level kingdom thing, but we have a problem with some of the more powerful hitters in the kingdom can pretty much kill the dragon by themselves. And then what happens is the dragon gets killed too fast, people get cut out of their turn to be able to try to earn their rewards, and then it sucks. So yeah, this is going to be a big deal. So that's going to alleviate that, because then the hitters can just hit all day long and do all the damage they want and not have to worry about cutting their fellow kingdom members out of the possibility of getting rewards, because they'll still get their ability to hit it, because the health is going to scale up as you hit, not count down to a conclusion. So that's going to be really cool. That right there. That will also have the side effect of helping some of these heavy hitters to be able to test their builds. And this has been a problem we've had, because me and a couple of my other members in my kingdom have the ability to do some serious damage, and we're just limited a lot of times because we can't really fully let loose, because we don't want to take it away from the more junior members in our kingdom that are struggling to get their rewards and stuff. So this will allow us to just beat the crap out of that thing and try to hone our builds. That way we can be more effective at actually taking it down and making sure that we get those ingots every day. So that's going to be awesome. And then the specifics, again, like we talked about, the health bar in the various kingdom defense will count up instead of counting down. As before, the rewards will be sent out at the end of the event. You can review the rewards for both success and failure on the screen before it happens. Pressing the button in the top left reward screen will toggle between success and fail rewards. So one thing to remember though is when new members join, you must be in the kingdom as the kingdom defense event begins in order to participate and claim rewards. Okay, now we get to, and that's going to be the biggest change ever. That's going to be awesome. So we're thoroughly thrilled with that. Thank you, developers, for that mode. Assuming it's going to work and not be bugged out. Yeah, we're going to be really happy about that. Now we get into the section that everybody is just really frustrated with. I mean, I kind of get it in a way, because they may not have intended for the rewards to be so good the way they had it designed previously. But this just swings the pendulum in the complete opposite direction and takes the rewards to total crap. Because before, the way it was set up, some of the more powerful kingdoms that could keep a level 20 Bazaar every day and fill it and complete it every single day were getting on the order of like 12 to 14,000 gems a month each member, and that's insane. A lot of the more junior kingdoms couldn't do that, so that was kind of unfair in a way, and that stung us a lot for a while because we didn't have the participation rate we needed. Now we're to the point that we can fill it no problem every day, and we were reaping those rewards currently, but now that it's going to change tonight, it's really going to get bad, because the tier rewards as you go up on the new structure is just really bad. I don't even want to spend an hour going over that because it's so frustrating. I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm just doing this for you guys so that you can have a better understanding of what's coming. The Kingdom Bazaar rewards tiers will be brought in line with Quest Pass resets, so that means that as the Quest Pass is going from 1 to 28 days, so is the Bazaar. So the Bazaar will start when the Quest Pass resets, so that each one will have a different tiered reward for each day type of thing, and it continues on for a certain amount of time. And so that will put them in line together. And it will happen tonight at the release. So the Quest Pass will reset tonight. The Bazaar changes will take effect tonight. Purchase rewards will reset when the Quest Pass resets. Purchases will still count towards increasing your tier. Each purchase reward tier can only be collected once per 28-day cycle. And your Bazaar tier, I don't know, whatever that means, I guess that's a leading into this. Bazaar purchases available will not reset to a lower tier. So before, our kingdom, if we missed a day of filling the Bazaar, we would go down one. Well, that's not going to happen anymore. I guess you're just going to stay on the tier you're on until you maintain the requirements to go up. And then you will go up, I guess, is how it is. Just like it was before, you will need to have joined a kingdom prior to the daily reset in order to participate in the Bazaar and earn those rewards for that day. And your kingdom can only progress one Bazaar tier per day. The reward tiers are changing. There will now be 28 reward tiers to match the 28-day reset, and a lot of them are just like, meh. A key, really? Give me a break. I mean, give us some better rewards, for crying out loud. Tiers 21 through 28 are our cooldown tiers that will be attainable at the tier 20 amount. For full details, see this post, and that's the same one we looked at earlier. And I told myself I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and click that link, and I'm going to show you the Bazaar chart so that you can see the reward tiers. Right here you'll see this is the new chart, and this is going to be the reward tiers from 1 to 28. So as you can see, the first one, gold, random shards, gems, ore. Now we're going to get ore for a Bazaar reward, really? Gold, random shards again, really? I mean, people at the higher level, nobody needs this. Gems, great. Relic tier 1, okay, that's like anybody can attain this. Gold, anybody can attain this. Gold is such a worthless reward in my opinion because the people that play this game already have too much gold and can't deal with it can't spend it all as it is. Why give us more without mechanics to get rid of it? Come on. Random shards, relic tier 2, still easily attainable at the 12th level. We should be doing something better. Gold again. Random shards again, really? Gems, this is what the reward should be every day, in my opinion, gems. A crystal, okay, so that's a decent reward for a follower, maybe. I don't know if it's random or if it's a pre-selected one each time, who knows? Probably random, I would guess. Gold again, really? Random shards again, really? I mean, you can see where I'm leaning on this. Relic tier 3, okay. That's a decent reward. I like that. The fact that we get 2, that's good. That's a good reward. Gems, that's a good reward. Or gold, random shards. Come on, guys. Come up with something better than this. Yeah, that's where we're at on this. And that's why I didn't want to show it to you. Anyway. All right, let's get down back where we were. Quality of life and miscellaneous issues and other lumped together, I guess. When it's not possible to shuffle the board into a matchable state, the board will now clear and mana drain both sides. Okay. I don't even really recall remembering that ever happening, honestly. And now that the board is bigger, way less chance of it happening. Probably won't even see this ever happen. So it's not going to be a thing to where you can game the mana drain, like trying to get a dragon to drain its mana by having this happen. It's just not going to happen reliably at all. When a character is stunned, you can now be stunned pretty much. Any effect they have will happen at the start of their turn will no longer activate. So any of the buffs that you have that do things at turn start will not happen. They've adjusted the versus scoring to account for the extra turns from the enemy hero, decreasing the resulting battle score more than intended. I don't know what to say about this because PvP is just such a cluster that I don't know how this is going to shake out until we actually see it. That's such a tough call to make because they've done so many things trying to fix it, and all it does is just shift it to another turn or another meta, and it's not making an impact. It's still screwed up. So many games have PvP tourneys that work. I don't understand why this one can't, but that's not my thing. I'm not a developer that understands the best ways to match these things, so I want to give them a break, but it's really hard because I just consistently see fail in this system. And I've been so disgusted with the turn 0 build situation for so long. Now that I've finally got myself to a point of a high enough Citadel level to be able to do it, now they're changing it. So yeah, that's how that's gone for me. So I'm got a bad taste in my mouth about that, obviously. Friends menu now counts pending friend requests for a total friends label. Never really been a problem with me. I'm not nice enough to where too many people want to friend me anyway. Just kidding. With the removal of chests from main story battles, an adjusted open chest tutorial will play on the first chest received at the end of the battle. Okay. Starter and chapter pack menus have been visually reworked, and chapter packs now also include item choices. Okay. So whatever. The speed stat has been surfaced and is now visible next to the power and vitality stats. So that's that right there. Now on your character paper doll, you can see your speed stat. That's pretty cool. Don't have to dig for it so much because that is an actual huge mechanic now in the action point system. That added some controller stuff. Never really been able to use a controller in this game. I do love controller support in games, but in this one, with moving the icon all around the screen and everything, it's just not been feasible for me, so I haven't even tried it. Gameplay, adventure modes, persistent health will now display correctly. Yep. Restarting while crewing matched exploded, destroying skulls will no longer remove them. Don't understand that one. Never really did that. Can no longer enter adventure battles while in a party. Can no longer enter adventure battles without a weapon. Those are probably things that people were exploiting. Some flash offers displayed graphical issues and were unpurchasable. Yeah. If you're people that have been trying to give them your money for the last month and a half, you understand how frustrating this is. You click on the flash offer and you give them your money for crowns, and then you can't buy the offer. And then they drag their feet reposting the offers, which they still haven't done, and you're stuck with your money tied up in crowns and not able to spend them on the items you wanted. Very frustrating. 505 games, 2+ infinity. I mean, come on. Give us a break on this, will you? We're trying to give you our money, and you won't let us. If you're struggling for money, fix it. My God. Kingdom defense battles occasionally appeared as both successful and failed. Double up the loss of your reduced to your current tier. Getting a skull match while stunned causes soft lock. I've had that happen a few times. Filling the puzzle board with any heroic gem causes the game to crash. Had that happen. Enemies dying, vying the burning of it. This is something that I hear a lot of people talking about. Brimstone is no longer affecting both the player and the enemy. Matching skulls while stunned no longer causes soft lock. Okay, so those are some good fixes. This one, the flash offer thing, that's got to get fixed, guys. I mean, that needs to be top priority along with PvP, getting this crap fixed, because I'm trying to give you my money and you won't take it. How dumb is that? UI, adventure node UI no longer appears, and you know, there's just some minion stuff, filtering minions. Yeah, good stuff. Changing your currently active hero, and this is just, you know, some quality of life stuff that doesn't really, not that big a deal. But it's good to see them fixing it, though. Don't misunderstand me. I'm glad to see them fixing everything they can fix, because I don't want to waste my time encountering bugs. I want to play my game with all my time, because my time is too precious to me. I don't like having to restart the game every 5 minutes because it's frozen. Fixing crashes, friends list, soft lock, fixed error. Okay, and then we get to their known issues, the things that they realize, hey, we still get it, they're still broke, we're trying to fix them. Global mail with no rewards still shows to collect. Sound effects problems. Upgrade pop-up does not upgrade if player collects mail while in gear screen. Oberon's belt, this is one that a lot of players I've heard have been, you know, really worried about, because they want this fixed. They want to use this item, and it's only giving 1% instead of 10%. Why that one's hung on so long, I just don't get it. These spells right here, the dark spells, have been a big one for like assassin characters, warlock characters, whatever, that they're going to get fixed, because these have probably really been crippling their builds. These ones that they could be using and are not getting the expected result from. Rooster's Crow, a yellow spell, good fix there for yellow players. German language, that's good stuff. There are a lot of German players that would like to see this stuff in their native language, and now they're going to get that. And then reflect. Okay, so these are the issues. These are the changes. I mean, you can still go into detail on this first link here with the kingdom changes. Where was it? Right here. There's a little bit more in regards to the Overkill and Bazaar changes and stuff like that. You ought to go read this. They talk about why the Overkill mode was, you know, so needed. The Bazaar changes, blah, 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 how sucky they are. But yeah. Go in there and look at that if you want to. But I think that's pretty much as long as I want this video to be, because oh my gosh, it's already 30 minutes. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and end the video there today. And hopefully some of these things that we're worried about don't come to pass. With the removal of gems from the story rewards is what I'm most concerned about. For new players especially, not even really for myself, because it does me no good, I've already got them. But new players, I'm worried about that, because I want new players to come to the game. And if they can't come to the game and actually earn some rewards, then they're going to leave. So yeah, a lot of those things seem to be counterintuitive, but we'll have to wait till we actually see them happen to be sure. Okay, anyway, that's Nemodius, and I am the leader of Ashes of Creation. Thank you for your time, and let's fingers crossed that 1.5.5 update goes off well tonight without a hitch. No bugs, no crashes. Fingers crossed. See ya.